Throughout this year's NFL season, we have all been watching and waiting for the biggest narrative of the year, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs, a team in what no team has done, a three-peat of Super Bowl championships. The Chiefs bested both the Eagles and 49ers in the past 2 years with the best quarterback in the league and future GOAT Patrick Mahomes and his right-hand man Travis Kelce. Now, both times the Chiefs were the underdogs to win the Super Bowl, yet they prevailed, beating guys like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, his former teammate Tyreek Hill, Tua out in Miami, and the Prince in Jacksonville to get there. But one thing we have constantly seen fans and haters say is that the Chiefs have had a whole lot of luck coming from the football gods, refs, and even the Swifties. Especially this season, as the Chiefs try and do the inevitable. They started off with the victory over the Baltimore Ravens in opening night of football, winning by just a hair after Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely's touchdown was incomplete due to the fact that the brother didn't have on some white cleats. Next will be a controversial pass interference call that led to a win over the Bengals, the missed PI call against the Falcons in the end zone, and even when losing Rashee Rice to an incidental hit stick by Mahomes, the Chiefs would go on to be undefeated. They took a win over Baker Mayfield and the Bucs after winning the coin toss in overtime and blocking a field goal against the Broncos that kept that win streak to 9. In the next week, the people's hero Josh Allen would secure a win over the Chiefs, giving them their first loss of the season. As of now, the Chiefs are 11-1 and have already clinched the bye week in the playoffs. Some say it's luck, some say it's dominance. But stay tuned for our opinion on the Chiefs season. But before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 10K subs, turn on those notifications, and stay tuned for more videos. Leave a comment on any videos you guys want to see in the future, and let us know if you think the Chiefs wins were a fluke or not. Now, fellas, we have all seen many games that the Chiefs have won by a very small margin. Some say it's luck, some say it's magic. But at the end of the day, do you see the Chiefs completing the inevitable three-peat, or will their magic be slayed?
Can we stop using the term magic? I feel like it's a little disrespectful to this team. They have repeated, and I think we need to be respectful. We have all of these instances about the games being close, and this shit happened, talking about some damn white cleat. I'm not trying to hear that shit at all. Because if we want to say that, then shit, if Kevin Durant wore a size 15, they would have won a championship that year. There are so many ifs, ands, and buts. This is sports. Because if we look at a team like the Cincinnati Bengals, who have had the opposing happen to them, we could say if this goes that way, that goes that way. If the defense was 2% better, maybe they have a winning record. Like the ifs, we can't play in that. We have to look at reality. If I'm looking at this Chiefs team, yes, I think that in the past 2 seasons, they've had like 14 games, that they won 14 games in one-score games, something crazy like that. All these games have been one score. I look at execution. I think that they've just been able to execute throughout the year. And you can say that some of these games have come to luck. That's fine. But I think that they're an all-time great team. And in my opinion, when I look at the AFC, the only team I think that can go head up with them is the Buffalo Bills. That's the only team standing in their way. It looks like if things continue to go the way that they're going, that they're going to have the 1 seed, which means that the playoffs will go through Arrowhead. If the playoffs go through Arrowhead, people that are saying that they're tired of seeing the Chiefs, I feel like a lot of people are really judging the situation out of boredom. They're bored. They're tired of the Chiefs winning, and they're not seeing a lot of high-profile offense or whatever, but this is all about winning at the end of the day. Are you guys going to pick against Kansas City in these playoff games when they're going to be at home? You are not, if you're being honest. Now, the Bills, I respect you on that, but I know that my dog Buffy, he does not trust that Bills defense. So that would be my only question mark. That's what people are banking on. Because do you trust Lamar Jackson and the Ravens? I do not. They don't even really know who they are for real. And nobody trusts Lamar Jackson when the money is on the line. Do you trust the Houston Texans? No, they're pretty inconsistent. They have a quarterback. Not a quarterback problem, but I don't trust that quarterback in the postseason yet. Pittsburgh Steelers, that defense is legitimate. Russell Wilson has been playing good ball, but are you going to take Russell Wilson against Patrick bleeping Mahomes in the postseason? No, you are not. At that point, then the only nemesis standing in the way is the Buffalo Bills. They put BTA belt to ass to the Buffalo Bills every time they play them in the postseason. So I'm probably going to continue to bank on them. And then when they get to the Super Bowl, I don't really care who's coming out of that NFC, because who's picking against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl? They beat the Eagles before, and the Detroit Lions. I like that matchup, but they haven't won shit. So is Jared Goff against Patrick Mahomes at the end of the day. So I'm going to take Patrick. In the postseason, it's about execution, which means that your quarterback has to be ready and your coach has to be ready. They're going to have the best in both of those categories every single damn game. People want to knack about the defense taking a little bit of a step back. Yes, the defense is taking a step back, but they are third in rush yards allowed, so they have the third best run defense. The pass defense has been bad. It's really my only question mark are those DBs. Those DBs have been getting lit up. They've been getting lit up. So you're going to play against a great quarterback like a Josh Allen. Josh Allen would throw a party that night. But they're 8th in points allowed. They also have the 11th best offense. So people are talking about this offense not being that great. But since they've acquired D-Hop, Patrick has been really, really good. And I just see that continuing to ramp up and get better. He had regular season struggles last year, and look how he flipped that switch in the postseason. So I am going to trust Patrick Mahomes. I also think that you can get a little bored yourself when you're winning this damn much. I mean, look at teams like Golden State, 2019 or even 2018. They're winning so damn much that, Jay, you just get kind of bored. You get kind of bored with all the winning because it's really too easy. Then it's like you look at your regular season schedule and it's like, our division, we're going to beast on that division. We're going to beat up on the Broncos and beat up on the Raiders. And yeah, those games are close because they're divisional games, but come on now. Nobody's picking against Kansas City in those games. Let's be honest. So yeah, man, I feel like a lot of people want things to change. It's kind of like that, David versus Goliath. You want to root for David. You want to root for the underdog because you're tired of seeing the big dog win. But let's be realistic when it comes to football. We already know who the best team is at the end of the day in the postseason. Regular season shit doesn't really move me when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs. They're always going to be there at the end of the day. So I think that for them to have a tied third best odds, Super Bowl odds, I think that's a little disrespectful. I understand it. We're just looking at the regular season, but we have to factor in other things as well. So if you go just base strict off the regular season, I can see why people don't have the Chiefs winning, but we have to take into account pedigree and look at the record. They still have the best record in NFL. So let's be fucking serious. I'm really excited to hear Buffy's comments.
Bro, I don't know how you can watch the Kansas City Chiefs play and just be like just don't scream out the devil magic is like here apparent. You can see, bro, just look at the games they've won. I guarantee you 70% of the games, these one score ass games, it's literally just fate just coming to be like, hey, we're going to hand you this W. I don't know if it's fate or, games are rigged. I don't want to say games are rigged because, you can say that about any sport. But nevertheless, man, do I think Kansas City can potentially three-peat this year? I think they can. Do I think they will? No. And I know this isn't shocking. I'm the big quote-unquote Bills fan. I guess y'all want to say that. But I just don't see Kansas City winning this year. I think, bro, I've seen too many stories of teams that win like this, these one-score games, and just lose in the playoffs for me to be like, hey, I think this team can three-peat. And this team has a lot of flaws. Many people don't realize their secondary has been an issue these last couple weeks. I think it's mainly because one of the dudes is injured, and then McDuffie is playing kind of out of position. He's a better slide corner. So they got that as an issue, and they can't really throw the ball deep. Xavier Worthy has not really wide, I don't think he really has NFL wide receiver IQ. Dragging your feet down. Being in position to catch passes. Being in between inbounds. And that's a natural thing for a rookie, but he's got drafted to a contender, so you want him to do that. But overall, bro, I'm just not seeing the Kansas City of old. These niggas, they used to blow niggas out for real, and it's just really crazy. They only win by close ass games now. And when I look at who I think can beat them in the AFC is really just the Bills. Honestly, like every other team is fraudulent itself to me. But they face off against it depends on if they get the second seed or if they maintain the first seed, because Buffalo does have the tiebreakers. But I just think this team, it's kind of what Rex Ryan said, and Rex kind of went on a hot take when he said this team's going to lose in like the first round. I don't think that's going to happen because I think they're probably going to get a bye for the most part. Although I think if they lose one more game, Buffalo might just lock it up. And because looking at Buffalo's schedule, I think they can beat anybody in their path, including the Lions potentially. And Chiefs have some divisional games which they might lose out on. But just the way they're winning, it's not really convincing to me. In the postseason, it kind of helps, especially when you have a great quarterback. But the squad just doesn't look really good to me this year. And this is coming from me saying that, they had a really great defense. The main reason why they won last year because their defense held every team in the postseason except for the Bills to under 20 points, like at the end of regulation. So, like, to me, that's the main reason why they won last year. It wasn't really because of the offense or Mahomes. And we have seen a big decline in play with their, star tight end, Travis Kelce. He has one more touchdown than Josh Allen receiving. And that's kind of crazy. Like, it's really, really bad, man. He has not looked that good, to be honest. And I know, he's type of guy, playoffs come around, this dude's going to have 3 or 4, 80 plus yard games in the postseason. Like, I already know it's going to happen, but he just doesn't do it on a consistently enough basis for me. And I think he's like losing a lot of explosiveness. They got the whole Taylor Swift thing going on, which boosts ratings, but it's annoying as hell. But anyways, I don't think this team's going to three-peat. Honestly, might not see a three-peat for a long, long time, but the chances are here. I think if Buffalo potentially faces like a Baltimore in the playoffs, then the Chiefs will probably just have an easy ass road to the Super Bowl. And they'll face like the Lions or the Eagles, which the Lions are legit. I just don't trust the quarterback really. Yeah, I'm not really moved on this Chiefs team going for 3 this year. I'm just not really seeing it. Nick Bright, he's on these talk shows talking like this is the greatest team ever assembled. Like this is 2017 Warriors playing football. It's really not. I'm not really seeing it. Yeah, those are my thoughts. But the devil magic is real with this team. Like, bro, there's no way you win all these games just out of luck. Field goal kicking. The Broncos missed the field goal. Literally at the end of the game, they got blocked because one of their guards couldn't block. And then Aiden O'Connell doesn't see. Just think about this. Aiden O'Connell literally was clapping his hands, and then he takes his eyes off to look to see if one of the wide receivers is lined up, and literally the ball gets snapped. And he does. How many times does this happen with like other QBs or like other scenarios? Like, this shit does not happen. So I'm not really moving on that game.
What was the score of that game, and what yard line were they on?
Well, I know they was in Kansas City territory, and I think it was, what was it? Was it 18-16 or something? They were down by 2. So all they had to do was kick a field goal. They were in Kansas City territory.
It was going to have to be a 55-yard field goal, and that kicker, he's not that good. But
it gives you a chance.
Yards, so
it gives you
a chance. He was not going to make that field goal.
See, that's not the important thing, because the only thing that matters, and if you missed it, it will be devil magic too, because it's like, dude, bro, most scenarios, bro, these niggas don't miss field goal kicks outside of the Kansas City Chiefs. If they play the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is putting something in a drink, is making them lose whatever skill they got kicking, but teams just don't kick well against these dudes. And it's really crazy. And I'm not even going to mention the refs, because that's the whole thing, the whole call against Atlanta where it's like it was clear pass interference, didn't get called. I'm not going to mention
happens every damn game.
No, it really doesn't. It doesn't happen in those moments. You call it in those moments, and that's the thing. They have luck, and I don't want to call it, and I don't want to call the sport rigged, but they have some type of fortune, some type of black magic. I don't know if they're doing rituals before practice or before game, but they have some type of magic that helps them maneuver in these games. And the only player in the NFL that can really stop it seems to be is Josh Allen and the Bills, and Joe Burrow and the Bengals, but they're not good this year. So it's really just the Bills or nothing. Anyway, dog, this team isn't impressive, bro. I don't know how y'all watch these guys and be like, yo, three-peat, other than they've won so much in the last couple of years, and we're just gonna give them, just the benefit of the doubt. I'm not seeing three-peat.
I will say this, you gotta get that hate out your heart. Like, you gotta stop hating. You gotta get that hate out your heart. It's very unbecoming.
I ain't gonna lie, I have no hate in my heart. This is me thinking logically. Have you watched the games this year? Dude, they literally almost lost to a 2-win team. A 2-win team. They were going band for band with these 2-win teams. I don't care if it's a divisional team. A 2-win team. They literally went band for band. Well, until the end of the game with the Saints. Like, they're going band for band with the worst teams. Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers aren't a good team. They're going to benefit them with the worst teams. They're only winning because of quote unquote devil, black magic, whatever you want to call it. And y'all are being moved by this just because they won the last 2 championships. Dog, this is the worst Kansas City team we've seen, honestly, dating back to 2017. You guys go before 2017, to be honest.
Quick question. Past 2 seasons, did you also pick against the Kansas City Chiefs?
2022, I think I picked Kansas City. I think so. But 2023, I picked against them.
You're picking against them again. So this
I'm picking against them.
Of you. This is a part of your history.
Well, let's not act like
it's the bet against this team.
Well, all right. Here's my thing. If they don't face off against Buffalo, then I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, win it probably. If they do, my money's going on the Bills. Like the Bills just a better team than this team this year. Like the Bills' only problem this year is just the run defense. The run defense is ass, and I don't really trust Tyler Bass. Like he's too shaky for me. But other than that, the Bills are on paper just better than these guys. And I know coaching matters because the Chiefs do have better coaching.
They do, and that's no debate.
That's really the deal breaker, and what separates these teams is the coaching. Many people are like, Patrick Mahomes is so much better than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. No, it's really just the coaching. Like the coaching gap is really crazy. Any of these guys have an Andy Reid or a Steve Spagnuolo like DC? No. So the coaching is phenomenal. So I will give you that. But other than that, the talent on the roster, I'm not really seeing this. I can see a postseason game where Josh Allen just throws 3 or 4 touchdowns on his defense. For whatever reason, Spagnuolo can't scheme against this guy or this team. So I'm not really seeing what y'all are seeing.
I'm seeing a team that's won the last 2 championships, and as you mentioned, they're going to go into, like I said,
we're talking about this year. We're talking about this year.
They're going to go into every single playoff game with the best coach and the best quarterback and the best DC and the best D-tack. Like there are so many things that they're going to go into the game with the best, and they have the experience.
Haven't played like
the experience. They won the last 2 Super Bowls.
Well, I need them to play like it. I need them to actually.
Okay.
Dude, when's the last time Kansas City blown out a team? Like just like a good win blown out a team.
That's what I was going to mention. Glad you brought that up. Is this college football? Like, are we judging based off of style points? Jay, I didn't know that your standing is higher if you blow out a team more. Who gives a damn? It's about winning.
Because if you look at like other teams, let's look at the I know you're gonna be like, well, they didn't have the MVP, they didn't have best player in the league. Dude, look at the Minnesota Vikings 2 years ago when they won like when it was like the 2nd or 3rd seed and they lost against the New York Giants in the first round. They won all those games, 1-score games, close games, nail biters down to the end. Dog, this shit is not impressive, and I'm not really seeing what y'all are seeing. If they play against, honestly, with their remaining schedule, I can see them losing to the very interesting game will be the Steelers game, because that's going to be the dark magic off, if you want to call it, where both these teams are going band for band. Like Mike Tomlin, he also has some type of dark magic too. I can't really like explain it, but he has some type of magic and aura that like
a sorceress. Them coaches are sorcerers.
Yeah, probably because
dabbling in that witchcraft.
Yeah, because the amount of bad quarterbacks he's had, and he's had winning records with these guys, even with great defenses, like it's unfathomable to me. But they could lose that game. They could lose the Chargers game next week. They could lose a game against Denver. So this team isn't unbeatable. Like I know what you're going back to.
They are. We're just saying.
Well, I know. Well, basically, what you're telling me is this team is unbeatable in the playoffs, and in a playoff setting, I don't think this team is unbeatable. I don't see it.
I'm not saying they're unbeatable, but I'm just saying that you would be rather ridiculous to pick against them based off of the track record. And it's not as if like it'd be different if they were, going to be a 3rd or a 4th seed. They're going to have home field advantage throughout the postseason.
Are they?
Like there's so many factors.
Are they? I can see them losing 2 out of 3 of those games are just listed. And Buffalo has a tiebreaker.
What's their record currently?
They're 11-1. I can see them losing.
Okay.
I can see them losing two of those games. You told me outside of this that they were going to win the AFC with a 14-3 record. If they get to a 14-3 record, then they're probably not going to have the 1 seed. The way I'm looking at it, I don't think they're going to have the 1 seed. So, let's slow our roll. We're looking too much into previous years. Let's look at this year. This is a new year. These are new players. They got new rookies that they got. Dude, you can't tell me the secondary is like that good. Like I'm sorry, I'm
I
not seeing
said
it.
that if you heard me. I said that my question.
It's
my
fine.
only question is with that secondary, but it seems so pedigree, experience, winning. That is a factor in terms of who's gonna win the Super Bowl, huh? It's
No
not important.
factors, but it's not the main factor. The main factor is how you've been playing well this season, and they
Gotcha.
have not been playing well this season.
How are they playing last year? How are they
Championship.
playing last year going into the postseason?
You said what?
How are they playing last year going into the postseason?
Well, if I can't remember, after the game against the Raiders, they started treading on good water, and they got in the playoffs, and then they got a favorable. Well, just looking at it, like they got in a favorable matchup, below freezing game against Miami.
Okay,
they're gonna win that. Then they face Buffalo, and then the Black Magic kicked in that game, and then they face Lamar Jackson the next round. And Lamar, with him, he's always choking in the playoffs. Then the next round, they face Brock Purdy and his 49ers, and their first drive literally started off with a fumble. So you can't tell me like they don't have any type of Black Magic like going on.
All right, so let me go ahead and address this situation. The demon magic, the dark magic that Caleb's been talking about. One, I'm gonna start off with that Isaiah Likely touchdown. Now, if you're clearly watching in 4K, we clearly saw that his foot was on the white. You can hate all you want, you can be mad all you want. His foot was clearly in the white.
Preach.
Now two, the Atlanta Falcons game. Now, although they did miss that call. Yes, Kirk Cousins still had all those other downs to score, and he did. So you can say all you want. You can say all you want. Now, three, what, the coin toss? I mean, bruh, are you serious? Like a coin toss? How many teams have won a coin toss that lead to a win? I mean, you can't call that magic.
Preach on.
Like were people saying this when Brady was winning coin tosses in overtime? Like, no. Okay then. And four, that Broncos missed kick. One, if you go back and look at film, the person that they attacked to achieve that blocked field goal, he has literally been put on his John Hine parts on his ass the entire season. So you can't say it's just luck and it's just the Chiefs doing it.
Hey, Bucky, you hear that? Watch film.
And then as far as kickers, I mean, kickers have been looking washed this entire season. Like, we've seen Justin Tucker, Kaimi Fairbairn, Young Wei Koo. We've seen all these kickers miss easy field goals and PATs that they normally knock down. So you can't just say it's just against the Chiefs. Like, I mean, what are we doing? And, Aiden O'Connell, he's looking the other way and trying to catch the snap. Now, Caleb did say, there was nobody else that did this before, but I remember watching Lamar Jackson do that. I don't recount what game it was, but it was one game this season where he was, chilling in the pocket and, getting ready before the snap. And he's calling out audible and stuff like that, looking around. But as soon as he looked up and called for it, he missed. And what did it lead to? A fumble. So this is nothing new. We can't just say this only happens against the Chiefs. And as far as the Chiefs, now, have they been having a down year? Has that down season this season? Yes. But, I mean, they didn't play, perfect like everybody expected them to last season as well. And look what they did. They won the Super Bowl. And they weren't blowing out teams last season as well. And what are they doing? They won the Super Bowl. I mean, you can say all you want, even if they having these close games, they're still getting the job done. They're still winning. And you can say all you want about the regular season. We all know what they do in the postseason. We've seen it 2 years in a row. They won it back to back. And then they won it, that third time. So, I mean, you can say all you want, but, the stats and the facts show that they win in the postseason when it matters most. When the game is on the line, they do what? They win. Now, I mean, this team hasn't been all that good, both offensively and defensively, but I do see them probably finishing at least 4 out of the 5 games. I do see them maybe losing to the Steelers. Like Caleb said about the whole dark magic going on. I could see a Christmas miracle come from, Mike Tomlin and Russ and the Steelers defense. But other than that, I mean, they're probably going to finish this season like 15-2. And they're probably still going to end up with the 1 seed. But, when it comes to that playoff time, I mean, the Chiefs are a different breed. Like Mal said, they got the best, head coach, best quarterback, best defensive coordinator, one of the best defenses in the league. And my problem But what Caleb said was when he said on paper the Bills are a better team. I mean, are we serious? Like, aside from Josh Allen, they got their line. They got James Cook. Some can say he's better than Pacheco. You can say that. But I mean, got Kincaid and Knox. Got those two young tight ends. But you look out there in that receiver core, you got Amari Cooper, got Khalil Shakir, and then where you go after that? Huh? You got Matt Collins. Matt Collins. You're right. Matt Collins. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. And then
Matt Collins is wide receiver number 4.
Anyways, and you look at this defense. I mean, they lost a lot of guys. I mean, the one person I can think of, two people I can think of, is an old ass Von Miller and Make-A-Wish DeMar Hamlin. That's the only people I can think of on that defense. Oh, and Matt Milano. But I mean, this defense ain't scaring me, and they ain't been scaring me all season. Like, the only thing that can stop, the Chiefs now is Josh Allen, but his defense, I mean, is it really gonna save him in the playoffs? Now they did come away with the win in the regular season, but in the playoffs, are they gonna be ready for that? I mean, I'll go ahead and answer that question. No. Josh Allen will be ready, but will that defense and that team be ready? No, because they're finna go against a playoff ready team who's done it, 2 times in a row. Now you can't say this is a new team and all this. This team has been doing this since 2019, 2020. So I mean, this ain't nothing new. Wins are wins. Anybody else in the playoffs that are scaring me? No, because Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that Bengals team, they're not even making to the playoffs, sadly, because that team is just poorly built. Lamar Jackson, even though he dominates in the regular season, he doesn't show up in the playoffs. I mean, his track record has shown that, and his best chance was last year, and he failed to do so. Let's see who else is making it. We got the Broncos. I mean, they got Bo Nix, that defense. I mean, that's cool. I mean, Steelers, even though they got my boy Mr. Unlimited, Dangerous, that they're not beating the Steelers. I mean, I said Steelers. They're not beating the Chiefs. Like, come on now. If you ask me who am I taking, Russ or Pat? Come on. I mean, it's obvious I'm gonna take Pat Mahomes, and I'm saying that as a big Russ fan, a huge Russ fan. Now that Texans team, I don't trust CJ Stroud going up against Patrick Mahomes either. That team has been looking shaky, this entire season. Now, have they been hobbled? Yes, but they still been looking shaky. That O-line is not good, and that offense hasn't been looking as dominant as we expected them to, because they got one of the best receiving corps in the league, and they got a great defense and a great head coach who's a defensive-minded head coach, and
D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryan. So, I mean, if you're asking me and I'm looking, there's nobody that can compete against him. I mean, and Justin Herbert has nobody. Like, he's literally throwing to wide receiver 3s at best. Like, Justin Herbert has nobody to help him out. So if you're lining all these guys up against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, I'm taking the Chiefs. And these guys have constantly been betted against in the past 2 seasons, and look what they've done. They won time and time again. They didn't expect them to get out of that playoffs last year and make it to the Super Bowl, and they did. And when they made it to the Super Bowl, they weren't the favorites. The 49ers were the favorites. And what did they do? They won against the 49ers. And the year before that, they weren't the favorites to beat the Eagles. And what they do? They beat the Eagles. I mean, if you constantly keep betting against them, they're just going to prove you wrong. They've done it time and time again. So, I mean, the competition, I mean, it's sad to say. I mean, sad to see. For some people, they like to get a little hurt by it, and they don't like to see, a whole bunch of winning. But I mean, hey, they winning. You got to.
It's just a brother on the channel that's very, very hurt. Very hurt.
Like when Tom Brady was doing it, I'm pretty sure there's people hating too. But I mean,
all right, Tom, I'm hearing a lot of bullshit. Let me just cut in. I feel like there's a lot of stuff I've been letting go. Mm-hmm. I don't want to make this video longer than what it is, because we honestly could make a Buffalo Bill video. Since Josh Allen's probably gonna get the MVP this year, but
Chiefs got more motion.
Dog, you can't tell me if you're just looking at the rosters, Kansas City Chiefs are a better roster than the Buffalo Bills. Like you just can't tell me that.
We're also looking at aura.
Where you're deluded if you're looking at
aura, right?
They got Swifties on their side too.
Or does not factor in. I don't know what you're talking about. But just hearing a lot of BS. The Chiefs have not been who y'all thought they were. Like the Chiefs not been who y'all thought they were for a good year. They actually got over it last year. That will be their year where everybody's like, hey, we were the underdogs. Y'all weren't expecting us to make it. We went in, we went into Buffalo. We went into Baltimore. And we beat all these guys as third seed. That was their year. I don't think it's their year this year. I'm sorry. I've seen so much footage. I've seen so many red flags. And I will say this though, you can pretty much book in the Chiefs to get the AFC Championship. Like at least get those games. That's why I thought the Rex Ryan thing was a bit overblown. Like they're not going to lose in the first round. But
Ryan at the end of the day.
Yeah, but dog, if they make it to the AFC Championship game, I'm having my money on. I'm having my money on Josh Allen and the Bills. I think Josh Allen has been a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes for the last 2 years. Honestly, I think the offense has been more prolific the last 2 years. Honestly, and I think their defense has gotten better. And Kansas City, whenever they play Kansas City, it's not like Kansas City really threatens to run the football a lot. I know Kareem Hunt. Every time I see the dude run the football, it's always like 5 yards. He's always getting like 5 yards a pop. 4 or 5 yards, which is pretty good for your offense, but it's not like they're really threatening to run like that. So I think the pass defense and just the way it's schemed by McDermott, I think it does play into the factor. And they have their guys. A lot of y'all are talking reckless about last year when they played against Buffalo last year. Patrick Mahomes was throwing to Travis Kelce against third string linebackers. And I'm not making excuses. He was actually throwing against third string linebackers that just came off the couch. He's going to be throwing against what's the dude's name? Terrell Bernard. He's going to be like these are good guys. He's going to be throwing against Matt Milano. He's going to be throwing against Christian Benford, who's been a top 5 cornerback this season. Taylor Rapp, all these other guys. Von Miller's going to be on the edge.
Von Miller.
Talking about in the head-to-head, they got pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes had like 2 or 3 sacks. When do we ever see Mahomes get sacked? So that's what I'm saying. These are my points. When you're looking at things like this, and I know it's just a head-to-head regular season game, but it kind of gives me something that I can see in the postseason. And I'm seeing a lot of these things. If the Buffalo Bills defense comes in the Arrowhead healthy, hey, I know Patrick Mahomes will still put his numbers up, but he's not marching on those guys like he did last year. He's not doing that.
We factor in health because if the Kansas City Chiefs were whole, that means they got Rasheed Rice. And then we really not having
Rasheed Rice, Hollywood Brown.
They lost their number one.
Rasheed Rice, Hollywood Brown.
That's Patrick Mahomes' fault. He got his wide receiver.
He missing 3 receivers: Hollywood Brown, Scott Moore, and Rasheed Rice.
Scott Moore. Kansas City fans don't even like Scott Moore. I
got a great way to end this video off because we over 35 minutes. Are you willing to put your money where your mouth is, sir?
Yeah, I'm willing to. Actually, I was planning on betting $100.
I've been taking money from you for the past 2 seasons when it comes to NFL.
That's fine. Actually, I put my bet is I was gonna bet a friend $100 on this, but I can bet you $100 on this too because this is a pretty easy bet. The way I'm looking at it, I just don't know how y'all see this team being better than the Bills, and they haven't been better all season. Honestly, you can say this team hasn't even been performing at the top 5 team level this year, and that's not really crazy to say. They just haven't been performing at that level. All y'all are bringing up is previous years and just their kind of fluky ass wins, which I have attributed to Devil Magic. So. Yeah, I'll be able to put my money where my mouth is. I'm betting on the Bills to beat these guys in the postseason. Now, if they don't face the Bills, I'm not putting my money on them.
Okay.
They don't face them, I'm not putting. Like they face like the Ravens or the Steelers in the AFC Championship. I'm betting on Mahomes. But that guy in New York, hey man, he creeping up. He creeping up on that boy. The Winter Soldier.
Tell me Aaron Rodgers?
No. Because Buffalo's like kind of in the area, but they call him the Winter Soldier. He creeping up on Patrick Mahomes, man. That's all I got to say.
So I will say this. In an analytical video, we're talking about devil magic. But anyway, I will say this. So the bet will be if they meet up, who wins that game?
Buffalo. Actually, my scorecard, I'll give you my scorecard right now. My scorecard will be 31-27.
Interesting. I don't see them getting to that. But I will say this. I'm going to take a page out of your handbook. I'm not going to lie, to be honest. A big reason why I'm betting on Kansas City is due to aura. They got that. It's really got matched. Josh Allen, he do got that. But the Bills, I mean, because
Josh got more aura.
I am banking on one thing. If Josh Allen were to make it to the Super Bowl, I am banking on the Buffalo Bills to lose yet another Super Bowl.
Oh well,
they have no history of winning.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, but
nah, they Super Bowl gonna be beating the Chiefs. That's what their Super Bowl is. The way they were celebrating that regular season win, they were celebrating like they won the AFC Championship.
Well, that's what Chiefs fans.
That's not a Super Bowl winning team.
That's what. Talking about the week prior, the Chiefs were celebrating like they won a Super Bowl when they beat the Broncos. So what are y'all talking about? Like, you know, what are y'all talking? No, that was true. That was true. I'll insert this in the video.
Block the kick, dog.
Time out. I'll insert this into the video. Did you see Patrick Mahomes' reaction when they blocked the kick? He looked like he won his 4th Super Bowl trophy in his 4th consecutive Super Bowl MVP. So
this is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. I'm gonna give him that grace.
See, now you're just glazing. For him. It's okay though. It's okay. You know, we got a lot of seasons left. You know, Buffalo gets his 1 seed. I'm be chilling.
So that's what you're banking on, for them to get that 1 seed.
Well, I think they can get it because Kansas City, they have a tough road down the line. Do they not? You know, that not tell y'all like
the Raiders. Oh my gosh.
Well, no. I said the Chargers, the Steelers, and they play against the
Raiders and the Broncos.
The Broncos. So, you know, those divisional games, they're bound to lose those games. You know,
the Bills, they've been Josh Allen, he's lost to the Patriots before.
I mean, to me, that's a troll game. Like if Josh Allen loses that game, it's a troll game. No. Actually, is because
that's like when Lamar and the Ravens lost to the Cleveland Browns. That's a troll game, right? But it happened. It happened like in Kansas City.
Yeah, but come on, like look at me straight in my face. Do y'all really think Drake May is gonna go into Buffalo, snatch Josh Allen's chain, and beat him in the last game of the season? Unless they're they're resting starters. If they're resting starters, I won't put my money on it. But I'll put my money on it that Buffalo would get it done. That's pretty easy. That's not even their biggest competition. Their biggest competition is going to be Detroit coming up. So, you know,
I wouldn't be surprised if y'all. I
don't know. Jared Goff. He seems like he's foldable.
Aaron Rodgers. If y'all lose to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, y'all definitely not beating Mahomes.
But Aaron Rodgers. Well, the Jets are a type of team where you know they lose games. Like they don't lose games. Like they don't win games. You know, if it's close, Aaron Rodgers is going to fold. You know, we saw what happened when Josh Allen winning his trap and he snatched his chain over there at MetLife Stadium. So, you know, the Jets will fold. You know,
so what I'm hearing from you is in the last 5 games, the Bills are going 5-0.
Yeah, I can see that guy. Cause I honestly see them beating Detroit. I see them beating Detroit because Detroit ever since that Detroit's been a little spotty and their defense is kind of a bit overrated outside the two safeties. I think Branch and Kirby Joseph have been really, really good, but outside the two safeties, like their defense is really, really spotty. So yeah, I have Josh Allen going in their trap and snatching their chain.
Gotcha. Can't wait to see that.
I'm looking.
A lot of that's been cut out, but yeah.
I'm looking forward to Cooper that hundo.
Oh, for sure. You can end it though, but a lot of that's gonna get cut off.